Item 9B, adopt resolution authorizing purchase of internet router replacement equipment for City Network, commercial businesses, school district, and San Bruno Cable residential customers in the amount of $1,676,000.
Mr. Johnson, you giving the report now?
Bob.
Okay, Bob.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, the item before you is to authorize the expenditure of $1.676 million to upgrade the city's high-speed internet router network with new network design, new routers, ancillary equipment, and factory technical support. This expenditure was included in the Cable Department's 2017-18 Capital Improvement Program budget and is critical to the operation and ongoing reliability of the city and cable television networks. The city currently operates 3 network-level routers purchased in 2004 and last upgraded in 2014. This equipment routes all internet traffic, whether it be voice, video, or data, within the city's networks and to and from the department's customers to the outside of the world, and outside to the rest of the world, pardon me. The age of the equipment and ongoing factory technical support is now at issue. The last upgrade to this equipment was almost 5 years ago, and Cisco Systems last year identified this equipment as end of life and will soon cease to support it by the latter part of this year. It should be noted that the city's core router for governmental communications has already reached the end of life and support. Cisco Systems has assured staff, however, that they will continue to provide support until such time as the new equipment is installed. The equipment staff recommends to buy will be able to process over 1 million routes, up from a theoretical maximum of 100,000 routes on our current equipment. It will have greater port bandwidth capacity and more available ports for future expansion or network upgrade. These are significantly more sophisticated machines and will be able to route our traffic more efficiently. It will simplify troubleshooting and generally improve the stability of the entire system. The equipment staff proposes to purchase, along with system design, support, and a 4-hour equipment replacement window, includes approximately $1.1 million for the city's 3 network routers, approximately $160,000 for city transport routers and switches, $270,000 for design, installation, and configuration, and approximately $118,000 for updated firewall protection, which includes 2 pairs of Palo Alto Network firewall routers. All of the above costs are included in the $1,676,000 request, and I would refer council to the staff report regarding Cisco Systems discounts and their value-added reseller and support programs. I should note that staff recommends continuing the relationship with the DataLink Insight Managed Services team. This group has been providing support for city network operations for well over 10 years and has a deep understanding of the city's networks. The total cost of $1,676,000 is to be paid over 5 years through financing determined by the city's finance department, with payments of approximately $325,000 per year. Pending approval, the project would be completed by the end of this summer. Al Johnson, John Seckler, Mark Edwards, and Andrew Warren of the DataLink Insight team are available for any questions. Thank you.
Questions of council?
Through the chair.
Michael.
So Mr. Johnson and I spent some time on the phone today, so I think technically, I understand what you're doing, and it seems like a reasonable design. From what I understand of the product support cycle, even though it's end of life, end of support comes dramatically later, so we probably could extend the life of this out a little farther. I think absolute end of support is somewhere out in like 2020 for these devices, right?
For our 76 routers,
The mic. Please.
according to our contract with SmartNet, it's, the end of life is in about October of this year.
Okay, but we could extend, Cisco would allow us to extend.
Well, I'm not sure.
to-
Cisco's here to talk about that if you'd like to have them come up.
you step to the
Zeckler,
mic,
could you
please,
come
sir?
to the mic, please?
So John Seckler with Datalink.
Thank you.
So yes, on some of the pieces, we could extend the support out through 2020, 2021. The core 4507 switch router that's supporting the city network today actually is completely will be unsupported by Cisco on the 30th of April, 2018. So we're kind of running into a problem with that.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for that. Okay, and so the other question then, the financing. So how does this, it sounds like this would be we would be incurring some more debt in order to pay for this. Is that correct?
Mr. O'Leary?
I think the answer to your question is there's not immediate capacity within the fund to support the $1.6 million. So financing of some manner would be necessary. Cisco itself has offered a finance package, and that was the basis for what's been included in the budget so far for the 5 years. Some analysis would indicate that we could move forward on that basis, even using, for a very short period of time, city funding. I would believe that if the results of further analysis for the fiber to the home that you discussed earlier, if we did some of the financing potential for that could wrap this 1.6 million into it, and I think that would probably lower the debt service and lower the annual cost if we did that. So I would try to leave that option open for financing it in that method if we decide in the next few months to proceed with further financing. Maybe we could wrap it all together and get the best package.
Okay,
But the answer to your question is debt is required of some manner.
of some manner. Okay, so if we decide to move forward with this, can we then stipulate that we want to hold off on actually issuing any kind of debt or making any financial decision until we have the complete picture?
Yes, and I think as long as that decision occurs relatively expediently, we don't want to hold off more than probably a few months, but that time period, I believe, is achievable. Is that correct?
Okay, thank you.
Well, I think this is for a limited period of time. The city could finance this to move forward immediately, just use internal funds until we have financing of some type in place. So I wouldn't suggest holding it up for that purpose.
Okay. And just to kind of go back to an earlier point, what happens with cable happens to the rest of the city. So we really can't hold it in isolation, because here's clearly an example where it's cable is not standing on its own. and we do have to do something to help it out. So I just wanted to make that.
Any other comments from council? Marty?
This is just like everything else. You know, we have to maintain what we have, and if we don't maintain it, it's not going to work. Well, we can't have that option of it not working. So I think we move forward and spend whatever we need to from the city funds, and as we package whatever the debt amount together, then we can go ahead and replenish the city funds. But I wouldn't want to hold this up. I think it's clear to me that we have to do it, and that's where I stand on it.
Any additional comments from the city manager or finance director on that, or the debt borrowing and all that? Just to make sure. Okay, this is action item, unless there's any other comments. Laura?
Yeah, I just had one comment. The firewall piece, I just want to make sure we're not cutting corners with the purchase of this new unit. I mean, security is so big and so important, and I want to make sure that, you know, that our systems are protected, that regardless of what a user might do, that the infrastructure is protected. So.
No, it's okay.
Good evening. I'm Mark Edwards from DataLink Insight. Yes, we actually spec'd in the Palo Alto devices because we feel that they are one of the best units on the market today. John and I, just to give you a little bit of history, we spent, you know, a total of 26 years in Cisco, and you know, we pretty much bleed Cisco. The products that we spec'd in for routing and switching are Cisco products. But even with that said, we do not feel that the best thing for our customer, in this case, the city of San Bruno, is a Cisco product, and that's why we put the Palo Altos in there. It is, if you looked at the Gartner reports, you would see Palo Alto in the upper right-hand corner. It is a superior product on the market today.
Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. Okay, if there's no other comments, this is an action item asking for a resolution.
I'll introduce the resolution.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember Salazar.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Davis.
Aye.
Mayor Medina.
Aye.